Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. You already know what it is, man. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I missed y'all, but dealing with this eye. It's getting better. So this past week, man, we had a dude out Philly, the city of brotherly love, get released from Current Farmhold Correctional Facility, one of my second homes. Place that every time I went to Philly, I was guaranteed to visit. I was guaranteed to spend some time in. It's the largest jail, correctional facility. Same thing out there in Philadelphia. And I would always end up there. This dude gets out last week, 1 o'clock in the morning. Cops get a call within an hour. Well, man has been shot a whole bunch of times. Dude was young. Just like that, he was dead. CFCF, let's relive it. Now, they said they released the guy, and I've been to the same bus stop he's been to. The way they let you go is they give you back your personal clothes, your personal items, things you might have got locked up with. Go over to, they dress you out. Then you go over to a window to get your check. It's a property window. If you had a gold chain on, any gold rings, watch, anything, you got to go over to the property window to get it. And they give you enough money to catch the bus. Right across the street from CFCF is a bus stop. You jump on there, jump on the Scepter, head to your part of Philly, wherever you're going, you know what I mean? I guess dude was at the bus stop, and for whatever reasons, I ain't gonna speculate or try to come up with a reason, because I don't know, and it ain't something I do. But for whatever reason, boys chased him down in a car. He ran across the street back to the jail trying to get help. Shot him up, killed him, boom, dead, right on the spot. Ain't been out an hour, and he's dead. So today, I'm gonna give you some stories that are similar to if I had to imagine what could have happened, not speculating what might have happened. But instead of doing that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some stories of similar situations I know of personally that took place. So back in '99, I'm in CFCF, been in there for a while. I've been in a whole bunch of different trouble, been in a hole a bunch of times. If you watch my videos, I'd have been through the ringer in there. I'd have got into it with a dual ox, the split ox head with a mop handle, and got my ribs broke, by some Puerto Rican boys. It's a rough place, you know what I mean? And it goes down in there. Fights are an everyday thing. Well, we had a lot of cigarettes, and cigarettes weren't allowed. Couldn't order cigarettes. But there was a bunch of dudes in there, in particular Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, that knew this one guard from the streets. This one guard that worked our shifts. Cool ass dude, man. Street dude. Like I've told you, just because you see them in a uniform, don't think that when they go home, they're still guards. They're not. They're just people like you and me. A lot of these guards sell drugs on the streets. Some of these guards pop pistols on the streets. I know guards out there that rob people, that had shot people, and then the following morning would get up, and that's a fact. The following morning would get up, put on their CO uniform, and head to CFCF. This pod I'm in is flooded with cigarettes. It's flooded with weed. Anything you wanted was in this pod. This guard was bringing this stuff in 100 miles an hour. Whatever these boys wanted that he knew from they were all from the same neighborhood. They just had a baby mama walk over, knock on his door. Either give it to his girl. If he was at home, give it to him, throw him some money. You bring it right on into jail, right? So we got all these different dudes that are feuding between each other about the cigarette sales, about the weed. Hey, man, you need to fall back, leave old boy alone. How'd you get the pack, man? You know what I mean? You cut my nuts. You selling cigarettes for, $10 a piece. No, that's crazy, man. They're not going for that, man. How am I going to sell mine at 15 if you selling them for 10? So it's like it's a war brewing in the pod that I'm living in between these Ricans and these Dominicans. One of the main dudes in there name was Carlos. And I can't never forget his name because he had that shit tattooed down his forearm. And it looked like almost baby blocks. The little blocks kids put together to make words, the little cubes. it said, you know, Carlos on like these baby blocks that have been tattooed down his forearms. Me and Carlos got along cool. Carlos didn't sleep far from me. We kicked it sometimes, talk, had mutual understanding. I buy weed off of him, packs of cigarettes, whole packs. I wasn't into buying just single cigarettes. I, you know, have my people meet up with his people and buy whole packs off of it. Lighters, whatever. Carlos gets to rumbling with this Dominican dude out in the pod one day. They go at it. I mean, just going at it for a solid, probably minute and a half. And the guard sitting up at the desk sees him, was like, hey, stop. Stop. They just keep fighting. Guard hits the radio, says, look, we got a situation. We need some more guards. This ain't like most jails where 20 guards show up. No. One other guard takes his time walking from another place, walks down his long-ass hallways, waits to be buzzed in, walks across the pod. He's not running. Carlos and them are still fighting. He walks up, hey, y'all stop, y'all stop. Pulls Carlos off, dude. They go to the hole. As they're separating them, dude is telling Carlos, I'll light your bitch ass up. I swear to God, we get up out of here, I'm gonna smoke your ass in the streets. Dude wasn't a fighter, dude was about that gun. He was about that pistol play. He's telling Carlos, this shit ain't over, cuz when we get out of here, I'm gonna kill your ass, straight up, man. I'm gonna kill you. They go to the hole for fighting. A couple weeks go by, Carlos somehow, and it's hard to get back into the same pod because this place is so big. You know, you got A, B, C, D, and then that's, you know, like say if you're on B, you got B1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all 4 different wings with a lot of men in it. Then you got an upstairs. So you might be in B2 or B2, 3, you know what I mean? B2, 2, and that's the upstairs. Same with the C wing, D wing. It's a lot of pods inside this place, right? So for you to get back to the same pod, it's kind of hard, but the guard needed, you know, Carlos back over there. Carlos was making him good money. The guard pulled some strings, got Carlos back into the pod, right? And Carlos is talking about how when they was in the hole, old boy was still running his mouth. He's like, I'm gonna smoke his ass when I get out of here. This isn't the type of jail where when people say this, it goes without anything happening. Him saying that, don't doubt what he's saying. These boys are 100% gonna see each other. And from the same area, they're gonna see each other in the streets, right? The one dude goes home. Eventually Carlos goes home. And I'm watching the news, and I heard a little bit about it in the streets. And I see Carlos's face pop up on TV. And I see dude's face pop up on TV. They're both out. They're both back in the neighborhood. Now remember, this is some beef that started in jail over cigarettes. Carlos is sitting on his bike. He's got a motorcycle, and he's at a red light out in Philly, what part he lives in. And this dude he had beef with, Dominican cat rolls up on him, starts shooting at him. Carlos's girl sitting behind him on the bike. She gets shot in the back twice. A bullet goes through the lower part of her back, hits Carlos in his stomach. Carlos tries to skirt off, jumps the curb with the bike. Him and the girl fall off the bike. Him and dude get to banging out right there in the middle of the streets. Carlos runs up on the car. They got a dude driving, and the dude that had shot him was in the passenger seat. Carlos runs up on the car. He's shot now. His girl's shot. And lets the whole clip off into the window. Bum, 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 bum. As the car drives off, kills dude right there in the car. Carlos gets sent back to the F. I think he ended up pleading out to the gun charge. You know, got a self-defense plea on the murder. Beat the murder. Got 11.5 to 23 on the felony conviction of a firearm. 11.5 to 23. Philly's a little different than most states. Here in Virginia, you get caught with a gun, it's 5 years. In Philly, it's called 11.5 to 23. You can do minimum 11.5 months for the gun, up to the maximum of 23 months for the gun. So many dudes get caught in Philly for guns that we got what's called gun court, where everybody that day going in that courtroom strictly got a gun case. We got drug court. Everybody going in that courtroom that day has strictly got a drug case. So just like that, some beef that happened inside the jail, inside CFCF, spilled outside of CFCF, back into the neighborhood where these two boys is from. Left Carlos's girl shot, Carlos shot, the other dude dead in the car, the bike wrecked, and Carlos locked back up. That's what I tell y'all dudes about popping your mouth and doing this and that. Y'all don't realize that everybody ain't just about talking. Everybody ain't gonna put their fist up. They're just not. You're not gonna run up and fist fight a man that's known for squeezing triggers. You're not gonna invite a man to a fight that's known for shooting people unless your ass is dumb and just got a death wish. I don't care who you are. This ain't no video game. Ain't no extra lives. This ain't Contra. This ain't Modern Warfare. You don't respawn when you get hit with a bullet. If that bitch kills you, you die. Dudes go to jail and think shit's sweet. Being there behind the door, da-da-da-da, talking all that rah-rah shit. Because usually, that's where it leads at. If you and dude don't see each other in jail again, it stays there. That was the story of what happens when it don't stay there. When you make your way back to the block and that dude you was running your mouth to, you put your hands on in there, gets out. I tell you all the time, we tote knives in prison. It's almost a mandatory to have a knife or have one somewhere close by or somewhere with one. It ain't because you want to run around stabbing people. It ain't because you're a killer or you're looking to kill anybody. It's just like the situation with Carlos. He had a gun on him that day, and had he not had a gun on him that day and been able to fire back, it'd have been a whole different story. They'd have found Carlos and his girl slumped laying on the sidewalk full of bullets. But Carlos wasn't no dummy, he was a street dude, so he stayed strapped. He'd rather do the time for the gun than do the time, in a box, dead the rest of his life. I'm gonna show you a clip real quick, and then we'll get back into it.
The attack started on one corner of 49th and Chestnut and spread to the other side. The victim, the taller man in the blue coat, quickly falling to the pavement. It happened Wednesday just before 1:45 a.m. outside the Barn Bar, just as an off-duty police officer was driving by.
As he's driving by, he tries to intervene.
Thank goodness he did, because out came the gun pointed directly at the beating victim still on the ground. Just when things seemed to settle down for a moment, the victim in blue is whacked in the head with a motorcycle helmet. Then the gunman starts to shoot.
Firing a firearm in the middle of the street with all them people there.
You can see the bullets firing out of that handgun, flying into parked cars and into the street, but no one was hurt.
That's Philly for you. That's how them boys are getting down out there. That's an older clip of just something that happened. I could sit here and post a million clips of things like that every day. Out there, it's different, man. The boys ain't, like you see on the movies, running and gunning. Nah. Dude, stand, take pose, and fire at your ass, man. Not a place you want to get caught slipping. It wasn't many days, man, that we didn't get into some type of something. If it was more than 2 or 3 of us and we was walking down the streets and we come across a crowd of, other dudes, it almost always popped off if we didn't know them. Somebody was always from their side gonna say something, from our side gonna say something. Like I remember walking down the street one time, me and my homeboys, and we're out off Woodland Ave. And we passed these dudes, and dudes like, yo, what's up, man? Somebody give me a cigarette. Talking to us, right? Fuck out of here, you know what I mean? Give me nothing, man. You get some manners with you, you know what I mean? You don't ask nobody for nothing like that. Fuck you, get raised up at, right? That's pretty much what we tell dude. And just like that, my whole squad gets to rumbling his whole squad. We out there in the middle of the street, rumbling. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, shots rang out. One dude pulls out, starts popping at us. Fum, 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 fum. We did what we had to do and got up out of there. It's a crazy world for a lot of people that don't know anything about it. Like I said, Philadelphia is supposed to be the place of brotherly love, when in reality, it's become the place of brotherly slugs. Brothers killing brothers, friends killing friends, boys killing men. Men killing boys, women killing men. It's like Philadelphia versus everybody, man. Out in Philly, our biggest threat is us. Yeah, we all run from the police. Police will beat your ass, that's a known fact. You definitely don't want to get locked up and sent to, 55th and Pine, the Roundhouse, CFCF, house corrections. You don't want to end up in none of their facilities out there. But for the most part, our biggest threats in Philly, if you're a Philly dude, is ourselves or the guys around us. And that's because the reputation of Philly and how rough it is and what it's known for doing, everybody respects and understands. It's hard these days to catch that fair one-on-one fight. It happens. And Philly boys will give it to you. They'll feed you the knuckles. But a lot of dudes can't take them ass whoopings. A lot of dudes can't take that tarnished record or walking around with this shit swole up, being ridiculed and laughed at. Because even if you win, you still got homeboys and stuff. Oh man, he messed your shit up. Look at you looking crazy in the face. Damn, he lumped you. You still got dudes gonna say things. And it becomes an ego thing. It becomes a pride thing. And the next thing you know, something so minor as a fight in a jail, somebody approaching you and asking you for a cigarette, or just walking down the street can lead to somebody dead. Can lead to your ass locked up, you and your loved ones being separated from each one. I encourage anybody out in Philly, man. I got out of Philly. It's not because I don't love Philly. It's like anybody. If you see a way out, get out. I don't want to raise my kids up in Philly, man. I don't. It's nothing against Philly. I just know the statistics. And when it comes to having love for a city and having love for my children gonna win every time. I want them to have the best life. I don't want them to have to fight walking to school every day or get a call that one of them shot somebody or one of them was locked up or one of them was dead. I want them to have their best chance at life. That's why I got away from Philly. Shout out to anybody out there, man, in Pennsylvania in general, but Philly most of all. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know the struggle. Y'all know what's real, man. You wake up, go outside on a nice summer, sunny summer day, and you already know before you get out there. You wake up today, you're like, shit, I wonder what's gonna pop off today. Murder out there is a common thing, to the point it don't even shock us no more. Overdoses is an everyday thing, to the point that it don't even really shock us no more. You got Kensington, where people from the East Coast come from all over the East Coast and go out Kensington to cop dope, and they never leave. You got drugs being sold right out in the open, and the cops ain't messing with nobody, man. They're not. They want the dudes that got a whole bunch of work on them. They're doing hand-to-hands right in front of the cops. You can ride through Kensington any given moment. I look at one of the bandos, look at one of the abandoned houses, and see people coming in and out of them, and they're shooting dope. You look over in the alleyways and see tricks tricking so they can get their fix. Look over in the alleyways and see people shooting heroin in plain sight, because the cops don't do nothing. It's too much of a problem. That's Philly for you. So once again, salute to all my 215, all my Philly cats. Kensington, North Philly, South Philly, Southwest, West Philly. Y'all get it in out there. Y'all go back to using them hands, man. Use that gun if you got to protect yourself. Let's take it back to how it was. I know it'll never go back there. Please believe me, Jay Williams said it. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing an ass whooping. You fight and you live to see another day, man. But anyway, these institutions, detention centers, prisons, jails, they're all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And as always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do. Salute.